My name's Chris Dangerfield. Welcome back to my channel. This is part 3 of Club 16 to 24. So there was a funeral for my father, really weird. I was wearing one of his old suits, beautiful suit, beautiful suit. I had it up until about 4 years ago. When I come into a bit of money in my mid-30s, I had a few suits made and they were all based on it. Gorgeous, lovely, nice lapels, little bit like a little, almost like a Batman bit on the cuff there. And I'm wearing it at his funeral. And my whole life's changed. Everything's different. I don't know what the fuck is happening. And of course, I'm dealing with it in a way I would choose to do for the rest of my life. Pretty much, most of my adult life. I just hit the drink and drugs. It became me. It completely took over me. Wake up, smoke hashish all day, and then when it gets to a reasonable time to have a drink, I don't know, what, 4 o'clock, have a drink, half a pint of gin or something. Said to her mum, do you want me to stay at home? You know, my brother was gone to university. I think he offered. She was like, no, that's not what's going to happen here. You two are going to do your art college, do your university bit. Thank fuck she said that. I didn't want to stay at home. I wanted to get the fuck out of there. I had absolutely no idea how to deal with it. No idea how to deal with her. She was doing the right thing. Iron constitution, my mother. Iron, a strong woman. Had to be. Strange upbringing she had. Eldest of 3 sisters. A carer. A ridiculously good carer. And she was grieving, she was mourning, she was going through the process. She was crying a lot, she was having trouble sleeping, she was talking to people, she was spending time alone reflecting. She had to go back to work for the first time in like 20 years. She'd been a housewife, loved it. She loved being a housewife. She made food, washed clothes, made the beds, seemed happy. And her life was all over the shop. She got a job. Just done it, just fucking got on with it. And I ran off to art college, and I kept running. I didn't stay still. Not for about another 20 years did I give myself a chance to just... So I'm at art college, and I am smashed. and it's amazing, because out of the blue, my mother sorted it all out for me. She got me grants and all that sort of shit. You know, I'd never had a penny. Suddenly I got $2 grand in my bank account. Bought a Fender Strat copy. Bought a little Marshall amp and a wah-wah pedal. I'd sit at home going, wow, 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 wow. You know, a couple of power chords. Wow, wow. We'd do acid, me and a load of mates round there when my mum, like, she'd go and stay somewhere. And I'd just hold a power chord and go, wow, wow, wow. And on acid, it was... And I just took to art college life, started growing my dreadlocks. Now it's 2017. I understand that is not pleasant in a white man. But in 89, 90, oh, it was a bitch magnet. These wonderful cheekbones appeared and this amazing big sort of dreadlock head appeared, and I had all army clothes, and you know, as much as I tried to make, I just chucked on a bit of army surplus. No. I looked hard, long and hard to get the right M16 lightweights, and all. It was all very carefully contrived. Even the paint splatters and, you know, burns and that were. I took time and made an effort with them. And I was just getting laid, man. No, so I say it in the passive. I was getting laid everywhere I went. Those women were just sort of pushing me over and jumping on my penis. And then I met this girl in. It kind of got weird. I was doing spatial design. To this day, I don't know what that is, but I wanted to do illustration. You know, I was still into graphic novels. I wanted to be drawing Batman comics. I wanted to be inventing like characters who carried around huge guns and space marines and things. I wasn't very good at it, but I was better than a lot of the people I saw on that course. And my tutor at school said, look, just get into the institution. Illustration is oversubscribed. It's oversubscribed by about 200% or even more. I've just made that up. It was oversubscribed. He went, spatial design, they're looking for people. And me and a couple of mates, we had to do, they said, why don't you do the interviews together? It was so funny. I'm still friends with one of them now. I see him the other day. I remember at one point the bloke said to him, you know, what interests you in spatial design? And he went, I just love handling materials. I was sitting next to him going, oh, really? Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I'm in this spatial design and I'm thinking, I need out of here, man. They were making us do the, like I say, what is it? Something about spaces. I think if you were being generous, you could say you were doing interior design. I mean, it was a BTEC college. It wasn't creative arts. It was very sort of vocation based. You know, go here and end up in a job. So, but wow, we were doing some weird stuff. And I was looking at the illustrators, and they were just drawing. They were just doing illustrations. It's all pre-computers, by the way. So I thought, I need to be doing that. And they were all much cooler in there as well. My group, the spatial design crowd didn't seem too much of a laugh. And I was hanging out of all the illustration class. And I said, I'm getting in here. And then the magic happened. One of them left. And there was a space up. And it was coming to the end of the term before Christmas. And I said to my tutor on spatial design, I said, I want that space in illustration. Oh, there's a space there. I'd already applied for illustration, by the way, and didn't get in. Wasn't good enough. And he said to me, you already applied and didn't get in. I went, yeah, but I've seen their work. I've seen the quality of their work, and I'm better than that. I just didn't make enough effort with my portfolio, and that's the absolute truth. And I was better than them. Not all of them. Not all. Never thought I'd use that about a group of illustrators in 89. So he said, all right. He said, they'll probably want you to go for an interview. And if you fail to get in, you cannot come back to this class. And I'd already started falling in love with a girl in illustration. And I mean it, in love. I mean, this was obsession. In retrospect, you could say I was replacing someone I'd recently lost. like really. I could not think about anything else. She was on my mind 24/7. And I said to the bloke that run the class, I said, I'd like to apply for that place. He said, 5 other people have come up to me and said that. I said, okay, so what's the score? He said, all right, on this date, we'll interview you all, bring a portfolio. He said, you realise you've already failed to get a place? I went, yep, I've already had all this. He went, okay. He said, they won't let you back in there. And I was like, yep, I've already had all this. And this was big because, only about 3 people from my whole school went on to higher education. I was one of them. It wasn't likely that I'd ever do that. And to be jeopardising a place, I don't know what the fuck I'd do if I'd have failed to get into that illustration class. It was risky. It was really risky. But not only was I motivated by that, I was motivated by her. I was writing her poetry and loads and loads, and she did not want to know. She'd spend time with me, and man, now my dreadlocks are growing a bit, my clothes are all like, I'm becoming a real bit of a hippie now because, not only am I an idiot, but I'm in love. And we're sitting amongst the daffodils on these beautiful sunny afternoons, 2 16-year-olds at art college. Oh my gosh. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, you name the cliche, I gave it to her. I don't really partake in the world. I just watch people, just make notes and stuff. And she was just an angel, just this beauty, Was she? No, she was a normal person. But you make angels out of lovers. You make angels out of obsessions. You turn them into something amazing. And God, I've done a job on her in my head. So I can't leave that art college. I cannot fail to get that spot. So I go into overdrive. Now I'm running from my father's death. Now I'm running towards love. And I worked and I took their advice. I said to him, what do you want? What do you want to see? He said, I don't want to see cartoons. He said, I want to see life drawing. I want to see portraiture. I want to see watercolours. I want to see investigative draftsmanship, and I notebook after notebook, putting samples in and cutting out scrapbooks. I'd done life drawing class after life drawing. I went into other years' life drawing classes. I stayed behind, usually because she was there working late, and I was working on her and poetry. And a bit of me thinks that she was maybe waiting to see whether I got in or not. And of course, everyone would see me. I took no breaks. When everyone else was on a break, I'd be drawing them in the, ironic really, after I said I don't partake, I just watch people. Well, no, I fucking was. And these scrapbooks of life drawing, figure drawing, and I tell you what, not surprising, I got so much better. When you're doing it all day, every day, and then when I'd get home back to her mother's, I'd just be thinking about her, thinking about illustration and just drawing things around me, painting, getting my mates round to do portraits, page after page. I was getting these big A0 sheets of paper and doing charcoal drawings. And on the day of that interview, and the whole of the illustration class had become a mate. It was just incredible. We were all such friends now. And they were all behind me. It was so sweet. And they were all like, of course you'll do it. Look at the work you've been doing. And I was like, yeah. But that's people, they want you to do well. And so we're sitting there. And I'm in first in the waiting room. And the others come in and they've all got their stuff with them, their portfolios. And I'm thinking, fucking hell, man, the rest of my life. When you ain't got a lot going on, the little you have going on is of absolute importance. If I don't get this, I'm just a bloke who lives at home with his mum who ain't got a job and doesn't want one. I'll see you in part 4.